Hello there, I'm Helge Høyvik at Latina Lab at Oslo and Akershus University College, and I'm going to say a little about creating learning materials in digital format. I'm standing here with the Surface computer from Microsoft, where you can use a pen to write and take away, as I just shown you. And that is part of the new technology that makes it easier for lecturers to create materials, and this is the topic. So we might conceive of this as a kind of remediation, namely that we take expressions, textual expression, as they were used to be delivered and created for previous media types like textbooks, and then rework them so that they fit with the new digital media types. And in this example, or this graph rather, we might say we start with the face-to-face lecture, and then that is remade into a multimedia presentation. But it's supplemented by what we might call programmed interactions, where students interact with the computer on their own with quizzes and questions and things like that. So that is one part of it. So we have the lecturing and creating new multimedia presentations like this video you're watching now, and then add some interactivity for the students. Another thing would be to take the textbook as such and recreate it as an ebook or a MOOC, a massive open online course. It doesn't need to be so massive. It's more that you create these courses so that they scale well, because programs and institutions would, over time, maybe have a greater reach or cooperate with other institutions nationally and globally. And then it's a good idea to create material so that it can be massified or extended to many participants. So that would be another part. And of course, these two things, they are linked to each other, so that we take the videos, the lectures, and put them inside the textbooks and the MOOCs. But there is a third aspect to it, and that we might call the interaction part, because what will happen to lectures or classes when lectures are taken out and put online, and you have that time at your disposal? And that would be replaced by more workshop-like interactivity between teachers and students. They can do various things, produce things, they can produce additions to the learning materials, go for excursions, have debates, develop their presentation skills, do comparative studies, engage in research and development, and so on and so forth. So we call that pedagogically organized interaction, POI. And then we might describe this as face-to-face group work, but also the kind of interactions that students might engage in using social media. So that is basically the core changes going on when we remediate the learning materials. But in order to do so, we need to organize that production process. So we have, as already mentioned, we have the production, and in order to do that, we need support materials called props here, for properties. It's from theatrical language, where you have something and you use that to talk about it. You have an image, you have some artifacts, some objects, you can show it and talk around that object. And then you create documents or MOOCs or standalone learning objects, multimedia learning objects. In order to handle this in a good manner, you need to administer the work. And we might call that curation. Namely that you handle the props, handle the pictures, handle the objects that you can use for lecturing, make that easily retrievable, easily accessible in the studio or wherever you are when you make your lectures. But also the result of the production should be handled. You add metadata so it's easy to retrieve and so on and so forth. So all that would be kind of a production process. But in order to do that, you need primary producers that might be the professors, the teachers who are domain knowledge experts, and they would need some production support because not all of them know how to handle these things. And since things are changing so fast, you need also a training of both groups, both the teachers but also the support people that support teachers. So not only the production process itself must be considered, but also the training programs, how to help people to conduct this work. And that creates a little more complexity to the administration of this process. Okay, so having this kind of model for production, we might look at a complete image that doesn't deal so much with the production of ebooks in this case, but rather learning materials like learning objects and MOOCs. But the fact is that an ebook is basically a MOOC that is repackaged so that you can bring it along with you without being on the web at the same time. So basically a MOOC and an ebook is in principle the same thing. So what we're looking at here is that we build massive open online courses or similar, and we build a structure for that. Maybe we should divide that in smaller courses so it's not so much at one go. We divide it in smaller parts. Each mini course consists of several lessons, and each lesson is composed of several topics, subdivisions. So we have one of these topics here. It contains some text, written text, and very important, it has some images. And then we have several images, they become a set of slides, and we get a slideshow. A good teacher would add some lecture notes, and some of that might be read out loud or modified as an audio recording following the still image or the slideshow, and it could eventually be used to produce a video like the one you're watching now, replacing the traditional lectures. And we have tested a little the various kinds of videos that you can produce and come up with like 5 main types. One is the classical talking head. You have a head standing, positioned within the picture somewhere and explaining what's in the picture and explaining the theory and models around it. You might have a green screen studio, as we are in now. You might have a big screen television positioned beside you, or you could have more an interview or dialogue kind of situation where you are in the studio and only talking on camera. Basically, these are the 5 main types of videos that it's reasonably easy to produce and that might replace lectures. So we come back to the production model that sort of defines the 2 aspects: producing and handling the material and training people to do it. Thank you for your attention.